Well, good afternoon, my brothers and my sisters, and welcome to another Wednesday Wisdom Poetry. I am Sheralden Brave. It is so good to be before you. It's beautiful where we are in Mapleton, Georgia, and I am, again, just thrilled, first, to be able to come to you. Secondly, that you're able to see me, and we're all blessed for that. So listen, I have something a little bit different for you today, and I hope that you enjoy it. I am going to read a few pieces out of my book, What Will I Tell My Children? Basically dealing with children. I had the great opportunity this past Monday to be interviewed on, let me get it right. I want to make sure I get it right, by 1010 WOLB in Baltimore by none other than Patrick Henderson. And Patrick, I want to again thank you for that interview. I was one of several people that was interviewed. At least I should say, I was the interviewee, and Patrick and his crew were there. Had questions. We had a few call-ins and everything. So it was an exciting moment for me. And so again, Patrick, thank you so much for the invitation. I really enjoyed it. It was great. And so, based on that, I wanted to, instead of sharing something new today, I wanted to bring to you, the listeners, the followers of Wednesday Wisdom Poetry, some of the pieces that I had the opportunity to share on this past Monday. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our opening piece, which is Invocation. I'm just a little bit uncomfortable being this close to you. Now, if we were right beside one another, I wouldn't have said that, but that the camera is right there and my face felt like it was hitting against my forehead here. Invocation. I invoke the power of the Holy Presence to be present in my living and to forgive me when I have doubt or fear or any careless misgiving. I invoke the care of the one who knows my nature by my name, who holds me close and wipes my tears and shields me from crippling shame. I invoke the goodness of the giver who gives without regards. And if I think in lack or want, my Maya, my giver guards. I invoke the character of the vine to show me how to be, to understand that who I am is greater than what others see. I invoke the passion of the lover of my soul, for it is in this passion, in this moment, my being is completely whole. Again, it's good to be before you all. I'm going to share something with you because it's kind of funny to me. I'm reading this and I'm thinking about my cousin Sheldon Butts. Sheldon posted this past Resurrection Day, Easter. What was your first Easter speech? And I responded to my cousin Sheldon. I said, Sheldon, you know, I was traumatized by my first Easter speech. So, as I'm reading this, I'm thinking about that text, this message that Sheldon put on there. And so my niece gets on. She says, Uncle, she wrote something about, what was it? And Sheldon comes back and replies, no, go ahead and say it. Well, let me just say this. I think Sheldon put it on there. So if you've never heard this story, it's one of the funniest stories ever. I was, and you'll probably hear it around Easter time every year. So if you stick with me for a while, you'll get used to it. I was probably about 5 years old. And I had my Easter speech, and my uncle Daniel said to me just before going up on stage that my Easter speech was changed. And what it was changed to is that Easter will never come again. So I get up there, I had buttoned my suit, and of course I had it as a 4-year-old child. I had it kind of misbuttoned and everything. And I get up there on the pulpit, and I said loudly and proudly, Easter will never come again. I knew something was wrong when I saw the look on the faces of the people in the audience, but I knew something was really wrong when I looked over and saw my uncle and two of his friends cracking up on the side pew. And after that, to this day, I do not remember my work. You always see me reading. I don't care. I can write it. I can read it every day, like invocation and my dwelling place. I do not remember my work. So there's some things, I'm still in prayer about to get over, but that's one childhood experience I have yet to get over. And actually, I have long forgiven my uncle for that because I think it was one of the funniest stories ever. And I think my Aunt Margaret said recently that almost every Easter, she and my Aunt Kellen talks about it and laughs about it. So thank you, Sheldon, for still traumatizing me at the age of 53 years old with my childhood. But I love you, cuz. Thank you so much for that. All right. And my niece playing a part in that was no better. All right. So thank you. So I see Donna's on. I see my sister Van Andrea is on. Let's see who else. I see Moniz. Thank you so much. Claude, my brother. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the encouraging words on Facebook, especially that was geared right towards me. I appreciate you that so much. All right. So what I want to share with you, the first piece I want to share is a piece entitled Little Black Boy. And it's one of my favorites, and one day I hope to actually turn it into a piece of artwork, Little Black Boy. And it is from my book, What Will I Tell My Children? Put these specs on, if they work with my ears. Okay, there we go. All right, Little Black Boy. Little black boy born in a world so cold, a little black boy only a few hours old. Little black boy with a grip so strong, little black boy, to whom do you belong? Little black boy, the years come quickly, but the gaps of the classes leaves you alone and sickly. Little black boy starving for some loving, still fighting for survival, enduring the pushing and shoving. Little black boy, all hope is not lost. You can still make it through without the ultimate cost. Little black boy, here, take my hand. It is my inherited duty to help you stand. Because you are a seed with the potential to grow, what you will become, that I do not know. But I will nourish your mind and structure your constitution. Here's to your life, my little brother, my small contribution. And I have to share with you, that is one of, that particular piece has got to be one of my favorites. I do not necessarily remember what I had in mind when I was writing it, but I, especially during this time in America, I look at what I can do, what I can bring to the table, and this poem pretty much tells that, what my hope is, not just for him, but what I see as my duty, my calling to do what I can do as a brother, as a black man, as an educator, as a poet, and as my family would tell you, little black boy or little black girl, when it comes down to especially my young people in my family, I embrace, I love on them, and I truly always want the best, and that they know that. But that's just not me. That's my family as a whole, and I appreciate the Brave family for that. Thank you. So listen, the next piece I want to do is also in the same realm, and it's a piece entitled Children's Challenge. It was also a piece that I did on Monday, along with in the interview with Patrick Henderson. Children's Challenge. We challenge you to dream, to build castles in the sand, to soar above mountaintops, to fly across the land. We challenge you to bravely ascend through ceilings made of glass, refusing to be judged by your color, race, or class. We challenge you to seek opportunities, not just those that happen by. Gather them from the ocean deep, capture them from the open sky. Most importantly, we challenge ourselves to provide you with spiritual support and to further encourage you on the efforts you put forth. Now, you probably notice a theme there, is that I'm not just telling the children, or as we would say in low country, in Geechee Gullah language, I ain't just telling the churn to go do that themselves. Okay, we have a responsibility as adults to help them, to guide them, to show them, and to be an example for them. All right. So I love these two pieces because it talks about not necessarily as much as what I want them to do, but my responsibility in helping them to do those things. All right. So next piece, and I'm proud to say that in what will I tell my children, that these pieces start the book. It's the first section. What are we doing for our children? And especially after dealing with this pandemic, right about a year, school, education, where our children may be further behind, started behind, now further behind because of something they had no control over. So these right now have a very special place for me, for our children. Raise them, they'll raise you up. Teach them, they'll be less dependent. Reach them, they'll remember the experience. Discipline them, they'll honor the lesson. Hold them, they'll cherish the moment. Encourage them, they'll reach higher heights. Love them, they'll love you back. That's what children do. The next piece is entitled Believe in the Children. I'm going to take a stop here just to see who else we've got here. All right, good. Believe in the children. Believe in the children, for they believe in you. Look how they marvel at the smallest things you do. Believe in the children, for they are our pride. They became our responsibility before the first sound they cried. Believe in the children, show them the responsible way, so that when they choose erroneously, they understand there's a price to pay. Believe in the children, establish a bond of trust, then stand tall to the calling because they are watching us. Believe in the children, lift them up to the Creator. Encourage them to reach for the stars in science, math, music, and theater. Believe in the children, encourage their curiosity, being ever so careful not to teach hate and animosity. Believe in the children, take them outside to play. Spend time with other children, it will usher in a brighter day. Believe in the children, because the laborers are few. Be a shining example to all children, not just the ones born of you. Believe in the children. The next piece is a piece that if you've been following me on social media this week, either Instagram or Facebook, you've probably noticed I've been posting pictures of me with the cup, the mug that's coming out, HBCU Cafe, and actually I am wearing one of the shirts that my godson had designed for me, and thank you, Maurice, for that. And I have the piece, and I think I know I did post it, HBCU Cafe, the actual poem. So what I would like to do at this time is to actually read that poem and give you a little background on that. Because, at the age of 17 or 18 or sometimes younger, when our young people go off to college, they're still our babies, they're still our children. And when I created or did this poem back in 2003, I never imagined that it would become so much a part of my life. And so let me just go ahead and share and let it become part of yours as well. HBCU Cafe. My child, my dear, we must not weep. Instead, we must endeavor to keep the doors of these great institutions open, and it will take more than us just hoping. It's going to take more than a few to sufficiently afford what is due. Giving your last will never mean so much. Think of how many lives you may touch. Give of your talents and of your time, because closing these doors would be a crime that we will all share in part, witnessing the end to a promising start. We have not reached the journey's end. It's going to take more than families and friends. It's going to take even our foes. When we stand together, benevolence grows. We greatly appreciate your assistance, a chance to change someone's existence. HBCU Cafe. So if you've been following me again this last week, you've probably seen. I think I know I just posted one today of each one of the four cups. And just because I have you before me right now, let me just go ahead and tell you that again. As you can see, the first piece was done in 2003. I am finally at a place where I'm able to see this come to to fruition. And so what I would like to also go ahead and say to you at this time is that with everything that's going on and getting it ready for you, it has been quite a challenge and a journey, but I'm very happy at where HBCU Cafe is going. Now, some of you may remember back in 2017, I actually did a fundraiser for HBCU Cafe, and we raised money and was able to send a check to 10 scholarships at 10 different schools, and that will not change on what we at Brave Pen and Paper will be doing going forward. Now, right now, I think that we still have about 100, if I'm correct, 107 HBCUs. And at this point in time, our HBCUs are getting a new fresh face on them because of this last political season. And I'll just go ahead and say it, our Vice President Harris is actually an HBCU graduate as well. But the one thing I want to make very clear, the HBCU Cafe is not just for HBCU graduates, not just for anyone who's just attended HBCUs, because the one thing I keep in my mind and in my heart is that many of us would never have gone to an HBCU or a majority college if it wasn't for our family members, our big mamas, our cousins, our sisters, our aunts and our uncles. I remember getting a check at HBCU from family members and things like that in cash. And so I thank you all for that. But HBCU is a thought, it's the wholeness of who we are as a people. And one of my favorite thoughts comes of Bethune-Cookman, and the thought of it being kept open by Miss Bethune actually baking sweet potato pies to keep it open. And so if we're going to do our part at Brave Pen and Paper to do the same, to make sure in whatever way that we can, small, large, or greater, to make sure that we do our part. So this is what HBCU Cafe is all about. I had the joy of attending an HBCU, and so that's all I'm going to say to that. So as you know, you guys have given me great feedback on the cuts. I promise you that they are coming soon, and so just stay tuned. All right. So a couple of more pieces. And I think I saw Susan. I see you, my sister. Thank you so much. And I saw Reginald come on. Thank you as well. All right. Donna, thank you. Yes, the cups are great. I'm enjoying them. I actually took a set and I'm actually using them because I want to know what your experience is going to be like. So I didn't just get them in and say, okay, let me get these ready to be sent out. No, I'm actually using them in the microwave. I'm washing them, hand washing them, dishwasher, and all of that because I want to know what I'm sending out to you. All right. So I'm excited, but know that it will not come out before it's time. All right. Compassion for education. Education is the key that unlocks opportunities. It is the beam in a child's eye and expenditure we can justify. It builds one's self-esteem and realizes the most wonderful dreams. It is the sacrifice made so that one can make the grade. Education is an investment tool that increases its benefits long after school. Though it is an important key in of itself, it is no guarantee. Greater still, when we extend a hand along with compassion, it can heal our land. Compassion for education. There was one more I wanted to share with you. Two, actually. Little black girl. Little black girl. Little black girl born with a spirit so strong. Little black girl, how will you get along? Little black girl with dreams of fairyland. Little black girl, here child, take my hand. I will teach you compassion for all that God has made. I will teach you there is more to life than just making the grade. I will illustrate love through my relationships with others that will someday assist you in choosing a loving black brother. I will teach you to reach further than what's at hand and to fight for what you believe in, firmly taking a stand. I will teach you to keep God the center of your world so that you become a caring black woman and not remain a little black girl. Little black girl. It's one of my favorites as well because I am an uncle many times over with nieces and nephews, but with my sister Van Andrea, I have two nieces, and until Trace got here, so it was my mother, my sister, two nieces, and my great niece Madison. They're all women, all females. So for me not to do one on Little Black Girl would have just been, I would have had to ask where my head and my mind was. So Trace, thank you, my brother, for coming in and kind of tipping the scale a little bit for Uncle Sheralden, all right? Well, great Uncle Sheralden. So I've got them both covered, Little Black Boy and Little Black Girl. And then comes my one of my favorite, I think it actually starts the whole book, and it actually does, Precious Little Child. Precious little child that I clothe and feed, I promise to fulfill above your basic needs. I promise to educate by what I do and say, and to appreciate your existence each and every day. I will offer you comfort when you feel alone or afraid, one of the many promises over time I have made. But above all else, I promise you my love. The only commitment greater comes from the Father above. Precious little child. And I'm going to close out with actually the quote that starts this section, this chapter, and it's entitled, the chapter's entitled Render, but the piece is, when an educator loves what he or she does, a student loves what he or she learns. Now that might sound familiar to you. That's actually on one of the 4 cups on HBCU Cafe that's coming out. One of my favorite quotes, because it is true. I had some great teachers in Georgetown County, South Carolina, and they had a passion for what they did, and that passion came through to me, and I appreciate that. And I'll leave it there. So that's pretty much all that I have for you all today. I will, there's a few notes. I did mention, again, Patrick Henderson and WOLB in Baltimore. Again, thank you. That is a Radio 1 station through Kathy Hughes, and I smile because I love what she does, especially for our community. And I just want to offer condolences for my family. We lost an aunt, Janet Brave, affectionately known as Tony, in our family on Easter Sunday, nonetheless. And just to say that we're strong in love, and we're strong in our faith, and we're strong in our trust. And Della, Daniel, and Shawana, know that we are here with and for you, as well as your father, my uncle Daniel. So please just keep the Brave family lifted. I always appreciate what you, uh, the followers of Wisdom Wednesday Wisdom Poetry, do for me, and I thank you so much for that. That's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and do our closing poem, My Dwelling Place. And let's go ahead and do that. I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anyone. I'll go back through just before closing totally. My dwelling place. Father, you are my dwelling place, the sun rays upon my face, the wind against my back, the light between the cracks. The promise in time of storm that I'll never be left alone, the anointing upon my head, by grace and mercy I am led. You are my counselor, touching my eyelids with sleep. You are my very best friend, for my secrets you do keep. You are my way maker when mountains are all I see. You are the King of glory who sets my shackles free. When others try to trouble me as I continue to run this race, I shall keep on keeping on, for you are my dwelling place. I thank you all for giving me the opportunity to read that particular poem every week, because it soothes my soul. No matter what's going on, that particular poem, when I wrote it and to this day right now, takes care of my angst, any anxiety I'm feeling, any loneliness I'm dealing with, and especially during this time with COVID. I think I mentioned last week that I had been home only once in the last year, and that's not usually how I roll, how I travel. I don't think there's been a car that I had in the last 20 years that putting 100,000 miles on it was very easy picking for me. When it come down, especially now that I'm back in Georgia, it's only a 6-hour drive or less down to Georgetown, 4 hours to Columbia, South Carolina. So, but to be safe and to keep everybody safe, I thought it was pretty much better that I stayed put a little more. So I did get my first shot. I'm looking forward to the second one, and so that I can spend time, especially with my great niece and my great nephew down in Georgetown. All right. So that's pretty much all that I have. Stay tuned. There's some things I'm holding back from you right now, and that is on purpose, because not because it's not traveling the way I want it to, but I'm holding back because I always want to give you my very best. And so if I'm unable to do that right now, I'm going to just kind of reserve some things. All right. So thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you on next week. I am Sheralden Brave. I love you. There's nothing that you can do about it. You can try, but the universe won't allow you that much power over what I have for you. All right. So we will see you on next week. Thank you so much. Please share this. Also, it's going to be uploaded to Instagram and to YouTube, especially for anyone that you want to share it with who may not be on Facebook. All right. So we'll see you on next week. Donna, I see you. Thank you so much. My mom. Hey, Mom. Thank you, Mom, for tuning in. I'm glad to see you. Yeah, Mom still do that for me. All right. So let's see who else. Did I miss anybody? Because Mom almost missed you. I think I got everybody. Wow. Yeah. All right. So we'll see you all next week. Take care.